afternoon, everyone. Can I interrupt our festivities for just a minute here? I'm Joelle Brad Hutter. I'm the Vice President for Patient Care Services here at St. Mary's. And welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And a very, very special welcome to Brad and Joelle Hutter and their darling daughters. We're so happy you're here, and we finally, at long last, have an opportunity to thank you. As is our tradition here at St. Mary's, Sister Mary Ellen will open our celebration with a blessing. Sister? Oops. A little slight differential there.
All-loving and passionate God, in your creative genius, you filled the world with us human beings. We are creatures always in search of others like ourselves. Today we come in thanksgiving for special people who have done good things that have blessed our lives. Brad and Joelle Hutter provided our funding for the Center for Nursing Excellence. We are so grateful and so thankful. And with grateful hearts, we implore your blessings on Brad and Joelle. Their generosity strengthens and encourages all of us in our continuing quest to provide exceptional care. Today we gather to celebrate their generosity and the ongoing blessings that this gift brings to our patients, the nurses, and all who will care for them and about them.
Thank you, Sister. That was beautiful. Brad and Joelle Hutter recently gave an amazing gift of $250,000 to St. Mary's Foundation. The gift was earmarked for our Center for Nursing Excellence, which we have come to call the CNE. Thank you so much, Brad and Joelle. There are no words to express what this gift means to us. The Hutter's generous gift enabled St. Mary's to partner in one of the most unique nursing educational offerings in the Midwest, if not the entire country. St. Mary's, along with Edgewood College and Meriter Hospital, founded the Center for Nursing Excellence, which opened late last year. Our center provides classroom and high-tech laboratory space so that our nurses and other clinicians, as well as the nursing students from Edgewood College, can master the most up-to-date techniques for delivering exceptional care to our patients. Much of the learning takes place using high-fidelity mannequins that really can replicate complex medical conditions. Still more takes place at the center in classrooms that are designed to facilitate collaborative learning. Many nurses and students have already utilized the center since it opened last year, and in fact, in our conversations this afternoon, many of the nurses who are here celebrating with us were able to share with the Hutters some of the experiences they've had there. St. Mary's, as you all know, has a very long tradition of investing in nursing education, and our own St. Mary's Training School for Nursing, as it was called back then, opened October 15, 1923. Many years ago, and it was in 3 small houses that were located where our alumni hall currently stands. There were just 7 women in that first class. After the first inspection of the school and inspection of its students, the inspector from the state of Wisconsin pronounced that everything was in order and on track to train nurses who were, and this is a quote, sober, honest, trustworthy, punctual, and clean. Now, we have a lot of St. Mary's graduates who still practice here, and I think some of us would raise an eyebrow at the accuracy of every one of those elements from the stories that we hear. The inspector went on to say, and I quote, "The students seem to enjoy nursing and are an intelligent group." And then she commented, quote, "Linen napkins are used in the dining room." the most part, we would probably make the same observations today. My own unbiased assessment is that we have a superb nursing staff. They work consistently to grow and to improve. The Center for Nursing Excellence is just an extraordinary new vehicle for improving the care that we deliver to more than 133,000 patients every year. There are 3 nurses with us today who I would like to invite to the podium. Jane Hartman, Sue O'Brien, and Bonnie Ball. They're going to share a few of their insights from their perspective about what this gift and the center means to us. Bonnie, who's going to share her thoughts first, is a practicing professional nurse in our medical intensive care unit, and this year she is also the chair of our nursing coordinating council, which means she's the nursing chief of staff. And so we'll hear from Bonnie a little bit as a practicing nurse in a critical care unit, what this opportunity to have a simulation center available to us means. Jane and Sue are clinical nurse specialists here at St. Mary's. Clinical nurse specialists are advanced practice nurses. We have 9 of them. They are master's prepared, and they lead our organization in our ongoing quest for clinical excellence. And a big part of what they do is they keep pulling us to the next level of clinical development and support the development of our nursing practice. Sue and Jane have a special role. They eagerly accepted my invitation to kind of be our leaders as we work with the simulation center and really learn how to optimize its use and how to really use this technology to our benefit. So they will share with you a little bit about what it means as educators to have this kind of facility available to us. So Bonnie.
Well, when Joan asked me to talk a little bit from a bedside nursing perspective, I immediately had these maybe nightmares, flashbacks to my own nursing education. And I won't say when, but it's been a very long time. The learning lab that I had access to was very low tech. You know, you sat at a table in front of the instructor. We had our little oranges that we would poke with needles, and when she just deemed that I was prepared, I could now give a shot to my patient. You know, jump ahead now, 20-some years later, and through the generosity of Joelle and Brad, it's a wonderful learning center that we have, that I have access to, the nurses here have access to, and the nurses that are coming behind me have access to. The mannequins there, if you've not been there, the mannequins there, like I said to Joelle, are almost freakish in their life and being so lifelike. They blink, they breathe, they talk to you, and the environment to be manipulated so that I can learn, the group I'm with can learn, we can have special skills that we need, communication skills we need to be working on, all the while helping me develop my critical thinking skills and my critical care skills so that I can transfer that information to my patients. Good afternoon. I want to begin by thanking Brad and Joelle again for this wonderful and generous gift of the lab. As you know, the center is a learning environment that uses state-of-the-art technology in the form of the mannequins and the software programs. These programs have been shown repeatedly to positively impact the education of a variety of healthcare professionals in a variety of settings. Excuse me. By improving our educational programs, we can also improve and provide exceptional health care to our patients at St. Mary's. As Joan has mentioned, the lab enables us to bring to life our nursing skills, concepts, and theories. And by doing so, this allows us to integrate critical thinking skills, problem solving, communication, and teamwork. The simulation also is unique in that it helps us identify some areas that we need to work on. Because, as you know, you can make mistakes on these mannequins and not cause any harm, which is great. In one scenario we used, I believe that was in Sue's group, Thin Man had a full cardiac and respiratory arrest while they were trying to get the pacemaker connected. The nurses worked gallantly to save Sim Man, as we like to call him, but he was too far gone and he would not respond. The nurses involved in that scenario not only experienced it, but they really learned from that exposure, which was great. Simulation and the debriefing sessions that we do afterwards allow us to provide corrective feedback to the staff as a guide to further learning and further action, and also allows them to reflect on their own performance. An additional benefit of this type of education is that our staff can practice things that might be rare or unusual in the clinical setting, and they may only see those once or twice a year. So we can practice them rather than waiting for them to happen in the hospital. This is called experiential learning, and not only enhances learner satisfaction, but also leads to improved patient care at the bedside. So here's a few examples of how our group has already used the center to improve patient care. The emergency department nurses have practiced newborn resuscitation following abrupt delivery. They've also participated in scenarios on respiratory distress, so they can practice intubation and using ventilators. The NICU, or Newborn Intensive Care Group, has practiced transportation of critically ill, tiny little neonates. Nurses who are new to the intermediate care unit have been able to really hone their assessment, communication, and management skills for those patients who are developing sudden life-threatening problems. Nurses who are new to the adult critical care unit have been able to practice a variety of scenarios with cardiorespiratory problems, neurological problems, and gastrointestinal problems. And finally, the pediatric population and nurses have been out there practicing sedation and airway management. And we're excited too, this fall, the birth suites and family care suites will be going out with over 130 nurses and physicians. So this is multidisciplinary, and they're going to be practicing a series of emergency drills. So that's really exciting. The responses from staff have been very positive. So I have just a few comments I want to share that we've gotten back. This was a great hands-on experience. The scenarios were good and helpful to work codes as a team. These were as real as I've ever experienced. The scenarios were realistic and relevant to my practice. The clinical application was extremely helpful. And finally, I liked the ability to treat real changes in patient status. In closing, we again would like to thank Brad and Joelle for their wonderful and generous gifts. As clinical nurse specialists and educators, we are very excited and thrilled to have this in our education toolbox. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie and James. Really helpful in painting a picture of what this is all about for us. Frank Bird, our president and always fearless leader, of course, was very instrumental in helping to make the center a reality here in Madison. And I want to invite Frank up to share some of his thoughts with you.
Thank you, Joan, and thanks to all of you who are here today with us in the room to honor the Hutters for their wonderful gift. Thanks also to the gadget guy, Steve Van Dinter, with his brand new Droid X phone, who is streaming these over the internet live as we speak on Channel 3000 and Quick.com. So welcome to all our internet viewers as well. How fitting it was that our blessing this afternoon was given by Sister Mary Ellen Lewis, herself a nurse and a great leader in SSM healthcare and our Franciscan Sisters of Mary. We thank you, Sister, for that. I want to add my personal gratitude to Brad and Joelle for what you've done to support nurses and exceptional patient care here at St. Mary's. Your roots giving to St. Mary's Foundation. Their children were born here. And how about a round of applause for Lauren and Gracie who are with us today? They couldn't possibly be any cuter, Joelle. We thank you for coming, ladies, and joining us, and we thank you for what your family has done. They've had family members who have been cared for here. Brad has also served in a dedicated and noble fashion as a member of our Foundation Board of Directors. And I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge other Foundation Board members who are here today. I've seen Ave B. is here, Dale Henricks, and Darrell Benke. Would you please raise your hand so we can acknowledge you? Joelle's stepmother, Boo Mortensen, is currently a Foundation Board member. So their roots certainly do run deep here. A number of Brad's family members, his grandmother, his great aunt, and his cousin Ann, were nurses, and Brad and Joelle's gift was given in part as a tribute to them and to the nursing profession. What a marvelous way to honor people you love. Thank you for that. You've heard from others about how this transformational gift has allowed us to participate in the Center for Nursing Excellence. Let me emphasize again, we would not have been able to participate if it was not for this gift. I want to be sure that all of us realize how much Brad and Joelle's gift means and the use of their gift as an example of the best we see in each other as human beings, caring about others and trying to make a difference. About 80% of the money that's given to charities in the United States is given by individuals, and it's given with a frequency and consistency that's not seen elsewhere in the world. Gifts like this make a huge difference in people's lives, and our world would be very different without philanthropy. Brad and Joelle's gift is an example of the support that the St. Mary's Foundation receives in many forms and from many places. Each year, our St. Mary's employees make gifts to the Foundation through the Employee Caring Campaign, and this year, the featured opportunity will be an opportunity to provide new incubators for our neonatal intensive care unit. Our auxiliary is represented here today, and they have given more than $3 million to St. Mary's Foundation, more than any other donor. Please be sure to stop by and let's have a hand for our auxiliary. Please stop by their new old gift shop, which has returned to the atrium, which also says something about our culture. When we make mistakes, we acknowledge it and correct them. That relocation would not have been possible without a generous grant from St. Mary's Foundation. So we thank them for that. And again, please feel free to stop by the gift shop. I know Cindy's already been over there this afternoon, and she approves, she tells me, of the relocation. Thank God. For me. I also want to acknowledge the Renabaum Foundation. And Mr. Steve Skolaski is here, who leads the Renabaum Foundation. He gave the lead gift of $1 million for our hospital expansion that became our wonderful East Wing. And also, the Renabaum Foundation provided the seed funding for the Center for Nursing Excellence and the planning grant that allowed us to come together as a community to create this wonderful space. So let's recognize Steve. Raise your hand. Another new program is our Foundation's Guardian Angel program, in which over 80 St. Mary's staff, physicians, nurses, others have been chaplains, have been honored with small and large gifts as tributes to how they touched other people's lives. And the list goes on. Brad, Joelle, you exemplify the best of American philanthropy, and in many ways, you represent the next generation of American philanthropists, younger people who are also moving to the forefront of their community to lead and support their community and make a difference. We need you, we welcome you, and we thank you for the difference that your amazing gift will make at St. Mary's and in our community. Your gift makes it possible for us to participate in the partnership that is the Center for Nursing Excellence. Without you, we simply would not be there. That would be a shame for us at St. Mary's, for our nurses, and most importantly and ultimately for the patients and families we're privileged to serve. So please know you're making a difference to them. 1,000 times thank you. And Brad and Joelle, I'd like you to come forward and make a few remarks if you'd like to. And we're all
okay if they're gonna plunk right down here?
Wherever you want.
You're okay? Yeah.
They've heard that talk before a lot. So it's not that big a deal anymore, right, guys? No, they both agree. Okay. Well, first off, it's only appropriate that I thank Joelle for allowing me to speak, and I think she would want to thank me for speaking because she doesn't like to do that, right? But it's only appropriate also for me to, again, echo the sentiments that Frank has already very nicely laid out for all of the other benefactors, donors that are present today, and foundation board members. And I would like also to add my thanks to St. Mary's organization, SSM, and all the partner organizations and the management here, starting with Frank, the executive on down, the leadership, and the staff. The culture of St. Mary's, the mission embodied by the actual culture and how you invoke that in the community is one of the main reasons that that this gift is so easy to give. A lot of organizations, I was telling people earlier, have laudable mission statements, but the culture of the organizations don't necessarily follow through with that. And we get to see the internal workings of those groups, and it's difficult to see. St. Mary's has this incredible mission statement, but it follows through on it. The people from Frank on down throughout the organization and the commitment that each of you have to that mission statement and the patients in the hospital quite clearly shows that you live and practice what is on the walls of that beautiful atrium as you come in across that skywalk. And that is something that I hope that we can pass on to our kids as well, right? Are you listening? Okay. I know those little juji balls inside the flower things are really fun. So we're debating whether it's more fun to play with those or listen to Dad. Okay. I had a little speech, kind of concocted in my mind. I decided to toss that out and just speak for a couple minutes on what I decided in the last 2 minutes are the similarities between nursing and business. And I think at first blush people would say, are there two things that are more far apart, right? Business people, cold calculating and so forth, nursing, compassion and so forth. Well, business people often look at nursing and say, I could never do that, right? You've heard that 1,000 times if you're a nurse, right? Okay, why? Why do they say that? Because it's difficult for them to understand how you can give the compassion, you can give the empathy, you can give of yourself in an environment where often you might lose that person, okay? Or you see that family's pain, you see the grief, you see the difficulty. At the same time, nurses and healthcare professionals often look, I think, at business people and say, I don't understand or understand what they're doing, and I don't know if I could do that myself. Again, because the complexities you might see in some of the things that we do. I think that we can learn from each other. I think we can learn from each other because when you strive to do those things that seem difficult, you learn a little more about yourself and you start to appreciate others around you. Us as business people, the more that we can learn to be collaborative, the more that we can learn to be empathetic, the more that we can learn to put ourselves in difficult and somewhat uncomfortable positions sometimes and do things like the C&E working together makes us better people. And to the extent that nursing and the healthcare professionals that are here today can appreciate and learn that the work that Frank and the rest of the management and that we are trying to do in the community and working to support all of you, I think expands your horizons as well. I know that it's been a real incredible eye-opening experience for the people working in our office buildings to see the nurses and the students coming into the C&E and learn more about what kind of incredible training it takes to be a proficient healthcare worker. And I know that just the presence of the C&E in that office building has changed outlook perspectives on that office campus about what all of you do. I want to, and I hope, that the C&E, St. Mary's Hospital, the collaborative and involving Edgewood and Meritor, and all of the incredible donors that made this possible, as well as Joelle and I, continue to lead that, to let the C&E be a guiding light, to be a progressive and forward-thinking notion that not just promotes healthcare and promotes better training and better proficiency with healthcare services and delivery to the patients, but also expansion of who we are and the people that pass through not just the C, but maybe through this community to be better people and maybe expand upon our own very, very much. We are honored, and I mean it sincerely, we are incredibly honored to be associated with St. Mary's Hospital. My two beautiful daughters that were born here, my wife, we could not think of a better organization to call partner and to call friend than St. Mary's. And yes, we may have another chocolate cupcake. I'll give the microphone back to Joan.
Thank you very much, Brad and Joelle. I'm going to invite Sister Mary Ellen back to close the formal part of our program with a blessing. And then I hope you will all stay and enjoy some of this beautiful reception. And in that spirit, I would ask that you join me in acknowledging our fabulous food service team who have So thank you all for coming, Mary Ellen, and then let's party.
May we be blessed with friends to celebrate our joys. May we be blessed to have companions in difficult times. May we always embrace life's events with grateful hearts. And as we celebrate Brad and Joelle's gifts, may we remember all our benefactors with gratitude, and may we be encouraged to follow their example.